Welcome to the Cover Zero podcast week one preview. It is so beautiful to see football on TV and to see a great game to introduce us to the 2023 regular season. You are here with the Cover Zero podcast. I'm your host, Jordan, joined tonight by, of course, none other than your boy, Jay, my man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. Football is back. You know what I'm saying? We just got done talking about this literally 2 weeks. What? No, it seemed like a month ago. Longer than that. You know what I'm saying? About when football was going to be. And here we are, week one. We got to experience KC versus Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was a good game, bro. It was a good game. It was a really
Mm-hmm.
good game. It was
Oh,
what I thought it would be as far as being a good game, but I didn't think it would be a close game. I didn't think it would be a low scoring game like that.
yeah, I'm
Put it
with
that
you
way.
on that. Yeah.
I thought they would have both teams would have put up more points.
Yeah, no, I think the over under open on that one at like 59. It dropped to like mid 50s. I know one person who took the under, shout out Brian Krebs. He took the under right away, and so yeah, but it was still a good game, and I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah,
glad
yeah.
about that. That's what I'm so glad about.
Hell yeah.
Uh you guys want to know our deep thoughts on that? Get at us on the socials at JR Sports Bars. For me, Jay, where can they find you on the Twitter and on the Facebook?
Man, Colin Wood J on Twitter. Find me on there. Facebook, same thing, man. Find me on there. SSAW. You can find us on there. That's where we at, man. That's where we posting everything.
Absolutely. And tonight we got 4 games for the week one preview that we're going to dive right into. And I've previewed some of them on what we're going to be doing so people know the topic that's coming up. But we're going to start in LA as the Dolphins travel to SoFi to play against the Chargers. It's the Vic Fangio Miami debut against the Kellen Moore Charger debut.
Yeah.
And that's what's so dope about this one. And just like on the surface level, I think what some people can look to expect, Vic Fangio is going to be bringing them odd fronts. He's going to be bringing that like post snap safety rotation, going to be
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of different quarters coverages. Kellen Moore is going to be able to be the person, hopefully, who can rectify the short passing game that a lot of people, and we have talked about plenty of times on this show, that has plagued Justin Herbert. Where mostly is your eyes going to be focused as we look into the start of this game?
The offense, bro. As far as the Chargers, like we starting off, like if I'm looking at one team, I'm gonna start with the Chargers. I just think I want to see how better this passing game is going to be. You know, I mean, Kellen Moore is somebody where you look at the Cowboys, you've seen how they was really balanced. They was able to pass, they was able to pass the ball, they was able to run the ball, and you've seen how they had the deep throws and all of that. And with the Chargers, that's something they really lack, bro. They
Big
lack.
time.
We talked about Justin Herbert. We talked about how he got the big arm. You know what I'm saying? He's accurate. Why are they not allowing him to really pass the ball deep like that? And so Kellen Moore is somebody really that's going to open up that offense. So that's the first thing I'm going to look at with the Chargers. As far as the Dolphins, bro, I mean, the offensive line. I mean, that's the number one thing right there, man. I mean, because you look at the Chargers D line, you look at the offensive line for the Dolphins, and I'm concerned, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you start thinking about the health of Tua. You start
Yeah.
thinking about, those tackles over there.
Teron
I don't
Armstead's health, man. He's already banged up.
yeah, so is he playing? I don't think he's playing. I mean, they
As of
made it
right
like
now, he's a game time
questionable.
decision.
Yeah, okay, game time decision. Austin Jackson, is he really that good at right tackle?
He may not
You know what I'm
be.
saying? I don't even think he that good, bro.
We can't say he's good. That's for
He
sure.
hasn't really played. He hasn't really played, bro. So I mean,
Yeah.
that right there, that's a concern. So those are the two things right there: the trenches, the offensive of just game plan as far as with the Chargers, and then with the Dolphins, they can get it done. The run game and all they can get it done. It just comes down to being able to block for Tua, and that's what concerns me the most. And as of right now, we just unsure. We're unsure
We
with Austin
yeah.
Jackson with right tackle. We're unsure with Terran Armstead if he's even going to play.
Right. 100%. That mystery still is something that I think will beleaguer the Dolphins, particularly as we look forward to this rest of the season with them. The dope part about the Dolphins, though, I think, is on the other side of the ball. And we talked about this in the offseason as well. I think if we look at these teams from like a bird's eye view and what they did in the offseason as far as staff moves, bringing in Kellen Moore and bringing in Vic Fangio, like the Chargers did and the Dolphins did respectively, those were to me the two best positional hires. If we're going to talk about coordinator aspect of it, that happened in the NFL. We talked
Right,
about the Lions tonight retaining Ben Johnson, like we saw,
right,
huge. We talked about Lou Anarumo being retained in Cincinnati, but for
right.
bringing someone in, These were the two best moves that I know a lot of us liked a lot,
Right.
very much so. And so I want to see, like you said, what differences do they apply to these teams where they already have a lot of people to make it a big, big strength?
Yeah.
That's going to be dope. That's going to be dope. Vic Fangio uses a lot of those light boxes. As I mentioned earlier before, you're going to find safety rotation. So when Herbert drops back and he sees a certain type of safety look, basically what that means is those safeties then post snap are going to rotate into different coverages. They're going to be here when the ball snap, and then they're going to move, and it's all going to change. And just being able to deal with that is very tough for quarterbacks to do. But when you have a coordinator like Kellen Moore, who has concepts that are built in to attack single high looks and also split safety looks within the same play call, now we're cooking. Now we're seeing Justin Herbert have things at his disposal that he may have not had before. I
Right.
like that you brought up the offensive line and the trenches aspect of it, because I feel like when the Chargers have the ball, that's where we're going to see like ultimate like strength on strength, because primarily the Dolphins defensive line is good. They got some dudes over there.
Right.
Christian Wilkins, you got Jalen Phillips. I mean, Christian Wilkins, number 94, for everybody listening, highest run stop rate among all defensive tackles last year in the NFL, right? His get off, his patience when he's two gapping, using his hands and being able to maneuver, the way he can even get skinny for such a big guy. He almost never seems to be out leveraged.
Hmm.
And the one thing I want to look at to see on the front what Vic's going to do, I feel like we know what he's going to do on the back end. I want to see on the front what he's going to do, because Jalen Phillips was unleashed as a weapon last year. They lined him up anywhere from into the middle, playing in like a stand up three technique on third down known passing situations. They'd usually keep him on that like left side, rushing off the edge, or they'd even put him down like in a five technique. They'd stun him around into the like all those different ways you can weaponize him. I want to see if Vic does that right there. The Chargers pass catchers, though, versus this Dolphins secondary. What do you? How do you think that's going to unfold?
I think they got success. I think they'll have success, bro. I really do. I mean, I like Xavier Howard, and I like the guys that they got over there. You know, Javon Holland, your guy. But I just feel like Kellen. And if we go back and look at the last game, because you know they played last year. You know what I'm
I
saying?
watched that. I watched a little bit of that film. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. You look at Kellen Moore. You look at Keelan Allen. You look at Mike Williams. They balled out last year, especially Mike Williams. You know, and now they added my boy, who I feel like is the number one wide receiver coming out. I hate that they added him, being on division rivals, but I mean they did add him. I just feel like
Quentin Johnston, for everybody listening, receiver
out
out
of
of
TCU,
TCU.
yeah,
Jay's
TCU.
number one receiver, my fifth receiver in the draft.
Yeah, yeah. His fifth, my number one, you know, but I just feel like he has all the makings to be a number one, you know, and they have a couple guys over there. Keelan Allen, obviously, Mike Williams, every now and then he shows out. He was number one in the last time they played. He was the number one wide receiver. I mean, 116 yards. I think he had a touchdown. He balled out. So I'm expecting them to have success versus secondary, bro. I really am. You know, and one thing that this Dolphins secondary kind of lack really was turnovers. I mean, Howard really didn't get the
It's a good point.
interceptions
Yeah.
that you know you really want to see. Holland didn't really get them the way you really want to see, and Justin Herbert don't throw interceptions like that. He don't turn over
But
the
yeah,
ball.
that part, bro. That's
So
a good point.
you know, I mean, I don't really see a big difference as far as like the passing game. I think the passing game is going to be even more. Justin Herbert had over 300 some yards versus them. Last year he only had I think only one touchdown, but still, I mean, he has
Hmm.
success, and now he has more weapons. Now, he got the whole offense got a feeling on what this Dolphins defense is going to bring because they played them last year. You
Hmm.
know, so yeah, I'm expecting the same type of success, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Kellen Moore, I love how he also can. What something he'll also bring to this Charger team that I'm going to be on the lookout for is how they utilize the run game, which is something that the Chargers were very, very lacking last year with their coordinator. I mean, they had a lot of offensive line injuries. They really didn't have that back that could hammer it home up the middle, because Austin Eckler was spending so much time just catching the ball.
Right.
And those injuries now have been rectified in a couple of parts that I want to look at. One being left tackle. Rashawn Slater is back. He wasn't really there for anything but like 3 games last season.
Mm-hmm.
Now they get him back, a solidified All Pro.
Yep.
Corey Linsley is going to be able to help against Christian Wilkins, who I brought up earlier, and even Jalen Phillips passing off those stunts, the center for the Chargers. He's back as well. One of the best pass blocking centers in the league. So that's going to be really dope. But I like how you brought up the additions of all of the weapons there, basically helping each other out. QJ, your boy, I think him going there, like I'm with you. We don't. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of for me. I'm like, oh yeah, my
Yeah,
fifth
you would.
receiver.
Right.
I didn't think he sucked. It's not that. You know what I mean? I didn't think he sucked. It's
Right.
just,
Right.
I had other dudes above him. He does have things he can offer, and what he can offer, that's why I do get this team grabbing him. He has juice with the ball in his hands. If you think about Keenan Allen and you think about Josh Palmer, you think about Mike Williams, they don't have a yak guy. And even like
You don't
when
think
you
Allen,
look,
Allen is that guy?
not anymore, not anymore. He's too old. Not anymore. He used to be. He
I
used to
think
be.
I think
Not
he
anymore.
is. I
No,
think he still is, bro. He still
not
is.
really. No, he don't got that juice no more.
I think he do.
He
I think
don't.
he do. I
He
think he
used
do.
to. He used to, but he don't anymore.
I
Nah,
think
he
he
don't have
do.
no yak anymore.
I think
He
he got
catch
the
that
yak
ball.
still,
He gonna
bro.
get open. He gonna catch that
It just
ball, and he
depends. You
gonna
got
get
to look
tackled.
at it too, though. You got to look. It depends what secondary they going at. It depends what secondary, what corners, what safeties they going at. You know what I'm saying? And with the Dolphins, we talked about this secondary. I like him, but this is where he had yak last year.
Keenan?
Yes, look it up, bro.
No. Keenan's one of the lowest in yak yards, bro.
Last year versus the Dolphins,
Oh, in one game.
and we talking about rematch.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, not a
yeah,
ton, not really a ton.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah,
Nope,
yeah.
nah,
He
I'm
had
not
it
seeing it.
though. He
We'll see if
had
he
it.
can do that in this one. We're gonna
We'll
see if
see
he
if he
can
do
try
it
to pick
again.
that up.
Let's see if he do it again, bro.
Next step I want to look at when the Dolphins had the ball, though. Something else I want to look at. When the Dolphins got the ball, speaking of that game when they previously played, Tua was bad. He did not have a good game. Dude
Right.
was 10 of 28. He completed 10 passes the whole
Yeah.
night,
Yeah.
right? Chargers played him a little bit differently than normally the Chargers play, and then normally how also people played this version of the Dolphins team. A lot of
Mhm.
man coverage, pressing him at the line of scrimmage, taking
Right.
away a lot over the middle, and really just getting after him. It wasn't necessarily that that's like the formula, but they executed their game plan well there. So I want to see, what does Mike McDaniel have in store after spending also an entire offseason and summer and training camp and all that with Vic Fangio, who is a
Mhm.
defensive coordinator. What was he able to pick his brain and say, hey, how can I beat these certain coverages? What don't you like to see when you run this, that, etc.? So that's what I want to look for. But to swing this over to you, bro, we know the Chargers under Brandon Staley, their defense invites the run. They love that too high stuff. Ironically enough, Staley is a Fangio disciple. When they were together in Chicago, Staley was Fangio's quality control coach, but Staley more so loves to invite the run even more than Fangio does. Do
Mhm.
you think Miami makes a concerted effort to run the ball in this game to counter that?
Yeah, they definitely gonna try to run the ball. I think Mike McDaniel's that's one thing he wants to do is run the ball. I think last year he wasn't able really to see it because they just didn't have the consistent O line to really do it. I mean, this year here, they got a couple players here. One thing I kind of want to see in this specific game is see them run up between the guard and the tackles, between Isaiah Wynn, who they just picked up, Connor Williams, their center, because really going against Boza, who's going to be on the edge, Khalil Mack, that's going to be on the edge, to me, it just don't make too much sense. To me, running up like down the middle, to me,
North
feels like
South.
it makes the most sense to really do that against this team because they got too much going on the edges.
Yeah.
So I definitely think they want to try to run the ball. I think if they try it, that's the way they should go. If you look at how they played last year they was trying to go on the edge. They was trying to do it all. But I
Yeah.
just feel like with this specific game right here, it needs to be up the middle. It definitely needs to be up the middle where it's north and south. Because if not, Khalil Mack, what he's about against the run game. Joey Bosa is solid versus run game. I just don't see them going up going on doing
I'm with you.
anything on the outside. I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm 100% with you from like a schematic structure, which would also be cool because we all know Mike McDaniel comes from that Kyle Shanahan tree. And
Mm-hmm.
what does that Kyle Shanahan tree favor?
Mm-hmm.
Outside zone. They favor that
Mm-hmm.
outside zone. And sometimes when teams establish those wide fronts, your counter has to be able to go north south or even instill counter with pulling guards. They don't
Yeah.
do that, but they do run some duo. They do run some inside zone, some dive, stuff like that. So I'm with you, especially when you get these light fronts. I mean, like you said, bro, who do you want to attack? Bosa, Mac, or Morgan Fox? Most people listening didn't even know who that was. Like, I mean,
Exactly,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Something else I'm going to be looking for when they do try to go that way, the Chargers are aware of where their weakness existed, and they still want to stay in that too high structure, keep those safeties in the run fits. Derwin James is an animal doing that, but he can only do so much when he's 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage or if he's
Mm,
playing in the slot. You know how versatile he is. But that's why they brought in Eric Kendricks this year.
mhm,
And I
mhm,
want to see, they've talked about how that is. They brought in Eric Kendricks, they brought in your boy Thule from USC. I
mhm.
want to see if those guys, if they do elect to run the ball north south, can make an impact. We all know the Chargers, that's if that's your style, cool. But it's a problem when you giving up 5.5, 5.3 a carry.
Averaging that
That's when it's a
that's
problem.
crazy.
Like
Yeah.
all the too high structure cover, that's great for third down and
Well,
7.
Staley don't care, bro. He
He
don't
don't
care.
care.
He don't care. I mean, he's let it kind of most likely he's let it be known, bro. He don't care if you run on him. That's just his style of defense.
Yeah,
He feel like if as long as he's not giving no big yardage explosive plays, then it don't matter.
right.
So that yeah. But keep going, keep going.
Yeah, no, you 100% right, bro. He don't obviously if he did, then he would make an adjustment. But my thing is, and I know you see eye to eye too, because you the run game guy. You love I know
Mhm.
you love the run game, and it definitely matters, especially in situations like this when teams are like, go ahead and do it, right? When you can't get your defense into third and four, six, seven, eight, nine, all this cool two high structure match cover, it don't matter because it's third and
Right,
one. So what
right,
they gonna do? Just
right,
run it again on your ass.
right.
So yeah, that's what I want to see. If they're gonna play that way, you got to have dudes, and
Mhm.
I want to see if the dudes they sign can go ahead and make that difference up. What's our score in this game? Who you got winning?
Ah, man, I hate to go with a rival, bro, but I got the Chargers winning this one, man. Similar to last year, I think they're gonna win this one. I got it 33-27. I just feel like at the end of the day, what really concerned me is the Dolphins O line, bro. You just don't know. You don't know what the tackles. You don't know how they're really going to be able to stop these edges that's coming off. Chargers normally deal with health concerns and stuff like that, but this is week one, so that's something that they don't have to worry. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's ready to go. So I think the Dolphins is really gonna I think they're gonna suffer from that. If Taryn can't go. Right now it looks like he can't go. So,
Right,
that's a concern. And the tackle, Austin Jackson that we talked about, that's a concern. So I just like the Chargers to me, and I love the addition. I mean, I don't love it, but I love it in a sense. I hate that we have to go against them as far as Raider fans, but when it comes down to addition, like you said, the best additions added, Kellen Moore is one of the best additions added, and that's a hell of a move for the Chargers, bro. And I just feel like the Dolphins. I like the Vic Fangio move. That's a great move too. But I just feel like when it comes down to offense, when it comes down, if it's a tight game, the Chargers are going to be the one to score. They're going to be the one to be able to put those points on the board when it comes down to it. So yeah, give me 33-27 Chargers.
33-27 Chargers. You are, let's see, 33-27. I'm such a bad math whiz. That's 50-60. So you are, you big on the over on this one. Over
Yeah,
under
bro.
sitting at 51 spread right now. Chargers favored by 3. So your spread, you pretty close on that. Pretty close on that spread. But yeah, over under sitting at 51. They expecting a lot of points, and we got more than that. And we could very well see it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins, man. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
the Dolphins. As like the off season's gone on, and the more that like I've thought about since we did our AFC East preview, the more I've thought about how if the Dolphins are good to go, and they're not 100% right now, obviously, like you brought up, but the offensive line, and I did say that would be one thing that could derail them. But I think there's enough health in place for them to be able to eke out a win against this team in the Chargers. I think it'll be a great game. I think it'll be close.
For sure.
I'm ultimately thinking though that there's just enough on this Charger passing attack, not Charger passing attack, but the Dolphins passing attack
Right. Right.
that you have there. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to be going against Mike Davis and J.C. Jackson out on the edge.
Mhm.
J.C. Jackson and Mike Davis are the corners for the Chargers, and they are bigger than both the receivers for the Dolphins. and they're going to get hands on them a lot, and they're going to rough them up a lot. But I do think those two are just too fast, and Mike McDaniel is just too good to be able to not let them slip loose for just a few plays to be able to make the biggest difference. I got the Dolphins winning here. I think we see a lot from certain members of that defense. I ultimately like their defense better too overall. I mean, everyone knows on here I'm a big Derwin James guy, but there's just so many players on this Dolphins defense that I see making a big impact. They brought David Long Jr. over from the Titans. I like him a lot. So yeah, I've hitched my wagon to the Dolphins a lot more as we've got closer to the season, and there's no reason for me to not think that they can win this one. Definitely going to be a close game. It's our game of the week. Our game of the week. We talked about this
Game of the
earlier.
week, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, our game of the week.
Real quick
Yeah.
though, with those weapons, Tyreek
Mm-hmm.
Hill, Jalen Waddle, if the offensive line can't block, if they can't hold up, how you think those wide receivers is gonna do?
I think they'll have it tougher than they would obviously if the line can hold up. But what I expect to do then is Mike McDaniel to find ways to be able to free up those receivers quicker so that his offensive line doesn't have to protect for as long. 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. Max protect. Let's put a tight end
So
in.
no
Let's keep it
deep
back in the block.
passing then. No
No,
running to the
you
ball.
can still get deep passes off where, like, depending on what type of coverage look you get, 2.5 seconds, the ball's going to travel 20 yards in the air, 15 yards in the air. But if there's nobody else in front of them, that's a big explosive play.
I don't know, man. I don't
I
see
know.
it.
I
But
don't
we
know.
go
Look, I'm
we
not
again
100%
though.
sold on it, bro.
Yeah, for
I ain't
sure.
100. I mean, look, this is why
And
it's our
I'm for
game of the
sure
week.
not gonna argue for no Chargers. So I ain't about that. I'm just, I ain't.
Well,
That's
why
it
are you
for
defending
me.
your boys? Well,
Nah. You see the bad. You see what time it is with me. Hell no, I ain't defending no.
look at us though. Look at us though. Look at us though. What color your shirt?
If my shirt is black, your shit is silver. You know what I'm saying? So, and
We
we
ain't
didn't
even
get this
playing this.
planned. This ain't even like we've been saying. We ain't playing nothing, man. This is all just, hey,
It's all organic when football season come around.
man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. But opposed, yeah, I got a three. I only got like a 3-point victory, a very close game. That's all I got. That's all I got. I got a 3-point victory. Definitely not going to be shocked if the Chargers go ahead and pull this out. But give me the Dolphins. I've been riding with them to win that division since we've got closer to the end of it all. So let me say the score. I like 30-27.
Okay, that's close to yeah. I just had
Yeah,
6 points
just
off.
3-point win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Hella close. That's why this game's about to be dope.